The death of a mutual friend brought this small group of would-be adventurers together. But it was the mysterious glyph left upon her corpse, keeping poor Aurora's soul from finding peace. Not returning to the land of the living, that propelled you on this journey that eventually has landed you here within the thick Lamnic woods, inside the bowels of a dark tower said to be home to a strange death cult. A cult somehow linked to the origin of this mysterious glyph of the soulless. Your party has traversed much of the caves below this dark tower, which included what you believe are some of the rooms to this tower. Though you've encountered some armed traps and undead adversaries along the way, you've yet to see any signs of life. Much of this place seeming to be untouched by the living for some time. Rooms in disrepair and disarray, the stench of mildew and stale air permeating the rooms, and thick layers of dust and grime settled upon many of the crumbling surfaces of this place. The last room you entered brought on the strong smell of iron, as blood was slowly seeping from beneath the door and into the hallway. It was here you were greeted by the horrible visage of the undead menace of which some of you may have heard stories about. The walking nightmare creatures known as ghouls. And that is where we will jump in here-ish. And I'll just, start with everybody rolling for initiative. Classic.
It's a lot of ghouls.
It's a lot of ghouls. And Brett vanishes into nothingness. Horrifying. Though luckily, his bless rages on. I don't know how long bless lasts. But I'll give you a couple rounds at least. Maddie, as Gamos gives this door a nice kick, flies open, and immediately the stench of blood fills the hallway, and the sound of grunts and grumbling stomachs fill the hall. As maybe Gamos cries out, "Ghouls!" And it's your turn. Might as well just kill all my monsters in one turn again.
Maddie's like, "Excuse me, Grandpa? Excuse me, Horseman?" Slips. And she is going to use her breath weapon again. So I need dex saving throws from the 3. She's going to do it in a cone this time. So I need dex saving throws from the 3 ghouls that she can currently see.
Beautiful. Top guy, top left guy, bottom guy.
Well, so only the 10 fails, the 12 passes.
All right.
And we'll make it lightning for funsies.
Love that. So half damage to the other 2.
Yep.
Great. They do appear to be affected. As the lightning courses over their horrific bodies.
She'll put herself in the corner and end her turn there.
All right. This school will come and slam through this door. Using its action to get through that door. Run into the room, get all stuck behind all its buddies as it just pours in. The unnamed Furbolg with this furry head of hair, this beautiful token. Definitely not a barbarian wearing a bear hat.
Bear? To see those 4 thingies. As an action, he is going to pull out a small little kind of wood cylinder with some carvings on it. He's going to place it on the ground in front of him or on his spot, which for the moment won't do a ton of stuff as a bonus action. This action he will refine. He will cast Chill Touch on the one right in front of him.
Love to see it. What's my save for Chill Touch? Oh, is that 2 hit?
Yeah.
Nice. 7, you say? 7 does not. Creature. Okay. All right,
Cool.
I will be right back. Cooper got into something. Be right.
I'm watching your Cardinals right now, Nate.
Oh yeah, you got him up on the old TV.
Yeah, I've got the Rays starter, so that's what's been like the background TV generally on Tuesdays. So I even tried to put on the Royals game, but it wasn't working. So it's like, well, if that's not a sign from God to not watch this awful team, I don't know what is.
Okay, I have returned, and I misunderstood. It was not the dog. It was the biggest ant of all time, and I needed to see it. And I mean, it honestly was the biggest ant I've ever seen crawling up our wall. So, it like the size of like, I don't know, a small bee. It's a big ant. Okay. Apologies. Tiny, was there anything else?
No, other than just figuring out when this will actually take place. Not important. Move on.
Lovely. Gamos. It is your go.
Almost. Can almost get by Tiny.
Yes.
It's a very small gap for two big people.
Yeah.
But Gamos will ride in and is going to bonus action rage. So each creature in 10 feet takes 2 fire damage. It's a rage, and then I'm going to.
That includes me, right?
It does indeed, yeah.
Cool. I bet that's not the last time that happens.
Within 10.
Within 10, yep.
Oof, love that. You'll all get used to that.
Yeah, no, I have a feeling that in particular is good.
I'm going to attack that back left one with my lance.
Awesome.
It's 13 hit.
13 indeed does hit.
Nice. 16 points.
16 points, you say? He only had 15 points left. One cooldown.
All right. Guess I'll stay in the pitch for now.
Impaled. The end of your lance. Gorm.
So something that maybe only the astute would have noticed is that every time Maddie calls him Grandpa, he like swells up with pride, thinking that like he's a father figure to her. He's not like getting the context of what's going on, and he's starting to feel like, yeah, I'm leaving a legacy. Let's see if we can get in there. Is that on top of somebody right there?
It is, yeah. It's
Okay.
really, there's actually no room in there. Stand.
So he's going to raise up as tall as he can on his 6'4" frame and shout, "You will not touch her!" And pop the one in front.
Whew.
Hello. That
Hiding
will hit.
bolt.
Love to see it. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's glowing now.
Yep. He all attacks on him are at advantage. Or the next attack, rather.
Love it. A bolt of guiding light rips out Gorm's hand. Mythos.
Holy crap.
It's a tight room in there.
Oh, I should have moved. Sorry, Mythos. Sorry. I'm exhausted.
Mythos will just sort of like look around the corner and say, you guys got it. Let me know if you need me. And he activates Shillelagh and just leans against the wall, like he's not really that concerned.
Love it. The ghouls' turns. Alright. Okay. First ghoul in front of Gamos will slash with its claws. If I can click a button. 9 to hit. Slashes out, unable to make contact. The second ghoul is definitely already dead. The third is this ghoul, who will run in and see a little difficulty. But he's not very smart, so. Final ghoul will claw at Maddie. 14 to hit.
That's a miss. Maddie just barely dodges out of the way.
Of it. After dodging out of the way, she is back on the assault. It's her go.
All right. She will miss with her quarterstaff. And she will probably miss with an unarmed strike.
So it's tight quarters.
Yeah.
She's having flashbacks to that room with Tiny.
Yeah, not a fan. So, a couple swings, couple misses. Natural 4, natural 5.
You gotta have advantage on one of those if you're hitting the one in front of you.
But yeah, if you're swinging at this guy here, or the one right in front of you, I don't know which one it was.
I think I'd be swinging at the one who was attacking me. As nice as it would be to take that advantage and give myself one more roll, let's just be real about it. That's not who I was going for. So, yep, that's your turn.
Tiny?
Anyone? Well, anyone, because it'd be a 20-foot radius. So anyone who was in 20 feet when I put that totem down gained 3 HP.
That's everybody.
And then since it's my turn, does Maddie look like she's taking any damage?
She is only taking damage. You just hurt the totem to the trick. It has only been fire, so you guys could have a good thing going on with fire damage negated by totem.
All planned.
Then
That's
knowing
synergy.
that, Grandpa had taken damage earlier that he had healed, will gain a D4
Nice.
from the totem.
Solid.
And then you'll gain an additional 3, so you'll gain 7 from my level. And then he will attempt to swap places with you to happen on your turn,
Oh, nice.
so you can get closer.
Cool.
And then we'll do another shield touch on the guy in front of our horse buddy.
You have advantage on that.
That's with advantage, yeah.
That will hit with the advantage. 4 points, and then there's something else that does, right?
More about undead, yeah.
Disadvantage on attack rolls until the end of this turn. This guy's having a bad day. Awesome. All right.
And then he'll move, I guess, technically there, because I'm assuming that Gormal.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Gamos.
Amos is going to aim for the next one in the back row. Striking out with his lance.
That will hit.
12 points.
Another precision strike with the lance. 12 points of damage. Is still up.
And I think that's it for the moment.
All right, Gorm. The spot has opened closer to the fray.
All right, he's going to move 5 feet there. And at the one right in front of Maddie. Chuck a javelin and miss. And
Clangs against the wall.
he's trying a little too hard.
Let's try. Let's try.
And yeah, it would be better strategy to duck out, but he's wanting to push to the front like a 14-year-old at a Blink 182 concert.
Oh, I love it. Mythos.
Just sort of still eating grapes, and just casually look across and go back to just chowing.
Where does he get all these grapes?
They come off his body. He's in spring form.
Just flex them off.
Yeah.
Love it. The ghoul with disadvantage will attempt to hit the goat man. And he would miss the goat man. This guy is frustrated. Very, just so frustrated. So he will run and fucking throw himself at this door, using its action to smash through it and come out the other way. Busting into the hallway and getting up in the Camerock's business. That's all he can do.
Hey, Michael?
Uh-huh.
Was that guy technically within my reach?
You know?
Could I have hit him? Would it be like half cover or something?
He has 3/4 cover. If you wanna
I'll
take
take
your
it.
shot.
I'll take it.
I love it. You got it. I didn't even realize.
12.
I mean, he doesn't know. 12 will miss with the cover. Kind of shoot it out and just kind of chips against the wall. A very hard shot to hit. But, you were aiming right for his head. It just didn't track well enough for that wall. This row here will once again claw out at Maddie with an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Love that. And Maddie, you are not an elf nor an undead, right?
I am not an elf nor an undead.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, and I actually need you to make it at disadvantage for some reason that we can get into later. An 11, you say, is a success.
Whew.
You son of a bitch. This ghoul tried his hardest to do something cool, and now will be at the mercy of Maddie.
All right.
That'll hit.
And she's going to burn a point of ki so she can do 2 unarmed strikes with her flurry of blows.
Oh. I love monks. Yes. Still up. Oh, no. No, it's not. There's the second. I just didn't read it well enough. 2 22s in a row. 4 points left.
Nice.
Caves in his skull.
She will step up, stand on the corpse of her defeated enemy,
Love it.
and call out, "There's more room up here, Grandpa."
That there is. Alright. This school now not having to move. We'll try and rake a claw at Maddie. Missing. Tiny. There's a new threat.
He'll look at Gorm and kind of just nod, sending him off to help Maddie. And then he will turn back to Mythos, grab a grape, eat it. You and me. And then he'll step to the other side. I can do that.
I love it.
And then he will hold an action
Okay.
until Mythos steps up for advantage.
Gamos.
Going another lance attack to the one in the back.
It's just a little too low out of your range there.
It's pretty cramped in here for a lance.
Pretty cramped. It's hard to get it back after, that attack of opportunity.
That's it.
Okay. Gorm.
Again, maybe not the most tactically brilliant thing, but his 2 motivations are A, building trust, with the subtle nod that was just given to him, and also answering Maddie's call for her beloved grandfather.
Let's see if her beloved stays standing. 18 to hit.
That hits. Yeah, that does hit.
7 points damage as you enter the room. And I do need a Constitution saving throw, and I do need it at disadvantage.
Sorry, Grandpa. I didn't realize there was a ghoul behind you. She probably still have given you the same advice, but
As you take a step into the room, you feel as all of your muscles tighten up. And you are actually unable to move. For now, you are paralyzed.
And paralyzed is like stunned.
Paralyzed.
But worse.
worse. Yeah.
The worst.
Paralyzed is definitely worse. Paralyzed is bad. Paralyzed is bad. But luckily,
He hopes that his intentions were noted.
as you started to step forward, your body locks up, and Mythos, you see this ghoul just scraping at the back of him.
Well, looks like I'm needed. Did you take something off me, by the way? Oh. Or was that him? I don't know. And I'll step up. And
Roll for the crit. You got advantage on this one. Well,
you didn't specify.
it's the wrong kind of crit. Sorry, I did not specify. But some damage to the tune of 17 points. That's pretty good.
How long do you have that planar warrior thing active? That's cool.
It is quite cool.
It's quite cool. Alright. It is still standing. This school.
Can I take my
Oh
turn?
yeah.
Cool. As Mythos steps forward and is kind of looking around like, someone take something to me, is your grape. Tasty. And then he will attack with a Simi.
15 will do it. Lopping off a good portion of this thing's skull. And it slumps against the camp rock on the ground.
And we'll take a step forward, wondering why Graham's ain't moving. Perception, investigation, medicine.
You will have to wait until your
Okay.
next turn since you were holding.
Works.
Sure. But this school was going to once again try and hit Kamos with his claw and will miss. This school is dead. This school is dead. Maddie, it is your go. Two ghouls remain.
Maddie will attack the ghoul directly to her south. The one that Gamos can't easily get. First with quarterstaff.
13 does indeed hit. It is barely hanging on.
Natural 2, though, ain't gonna get it done.
Natural 2 is not going to get it done.
Dang it.
Time for the ghouls to attack again. This guy clawing at Maddie. 22 to hit.
Ouch.
That's a good one. And Constitution save at disadvantage. 11 just makes it. Tiny man.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is. He'll look at Mythos and point behind him and say, something else. That way. And then he'll do a whatever check on Old Man.
You could get away with a medicine and arcana. Probably either of those.
That works.
Yeah, so just religion would also work too if that changes anything. But
No, medicine's probably. Yeah.
yeah, you can tell that there's some sort of ghouls are fairly common knowledge, especially for those who do some amount of adventuring and traveling. These things have these kind of like I don't know, poisonous, essentially like substance that kind of like builds up on their claws that has a way of paralyzing people. It's not necessarily something that lasts forever though. But generally, it can last long enough for a ghoul to get a good meal out of its target. So, if Gorm was alone, this might be bad news for Gorm. But
yeah, and I guess everybody else is still in front of him. So, yeah, I'll just wait, knowing that info. Do I know, as far as time goes, of that of the affliction?
You would only think it would last like basically like a minute.
Okay, that's what I needed.
Unless his constitution can shove it off.
Yeah,
which is just
okay,
my
cool.
goal too.
That is it.
Gamos.
Ramos, frustrated by his last couple misses, kind of releases a heavy, angry snort and will reckless attack this time at the back one.
Nope.
For 27 to hit for 15 points.
Good use of reckless attack for that first roll.
Yes. Absolutely. Impaling this thing on your lance.
All right.
Very, very solid use. For it will not be able to attack against you. Gorm, make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage. You are able to shrug off these effects. However, it is technically the end of your turn. But you are no longer paralyzed, which is nice. Mythos.
Which way did you say, big guy? What is that?
Yeah, he'll point to your right, like back behind him to your right now.
As you walk in this room, Mythos, a copper taste fills your mouth as you come into this chamber that almost seems to be filled with a fine red mist. At the center of the chamber, there is a blood-soaked statue, which is just really, really nice. The statue is that of like a humanoid figure in robes, kind of beneath a breastplate, and the figure has this like mask on. The mask is completely featureless, kind of sitting behind this kind of dark hood. In one hand, there is this kind of long pike, and in the other, the hand actually resembles more of like a clawed draconic talon than a human hand. And that's probably all you kind of see just walking into that room. And there's just kind of a pool of bubbling blood around the statue.
Is it of any like discernible source
It almost looks like it's just like coming.
emanating from it?
Yeah, like almost like bleeding out of the statue, very unnaturally.
He'll just say, "Oh God, what is? Oh, awful!" And then he's just gonna take a swing at it.
That's really, I love it. Great.
And I don't even know if I can have Planar Warrior, but we're just gonna go for it.
Perfect. As you swing at the statue, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage. As you hit the statue with your staff, you it's a solid hit, and you can actually see, like, for just a second, like these little like cracks form, but then the cracks almost just blood starts to kind of come out of them, and then the cracks kind of vanish, and you gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Cool.
But the statue just continues to bleed there. This ghoul will take its final retribution against the large goat before it with its claws. 23? 23 to hit it?
Yeah, he does actually have advantage.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Reckless is all attacks against me have advantage.
Oh, okay. Well, for the crit. No crit, but just 23, 7 points slashing, and a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
3 points of slashing.
Yeah. Damn barbarians.
And con save. I didn't mean to do that advantage.
That's fine. The 15 will succeed. You are now paralyzed by the school. Just gonna move that off the screen too. And Maddie.
Smack. Bops it on the head like a whack-a-mole.
And like a whack-a-mole, it is hammered into the earth and vanishes. And you have defeated the monsters. And no one is paralyzed. So that's good. You are technically out of initiative.
On my last turn, everybody would have gotten 3 HP back from my totem aura.
How long does that thing go?
The totem, a whole minute.
All right. Well, Maddie will huddle by the totem.
Yeah, not 100% sure how it's going to work out of combat. That's a me and Michael conversation, because it'd be straight up broke.
For now, it's fine.
Place a little totem and be like, everybody's healed. Every
I mean,
now-
single
it's like 1 minute, per long rest. Like I
For
mean,
now,
it's-
dogpile on that thing and you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Maddie acts like it's a fire.
30 HP.
Yeah, everybody just heal. Everybody just heal back.
Thanks, Tiny. Big fan.
You'll all be wondering why Tiny's totems don't work quite as well. Campaign. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's fine.
These were so great in that cellar. And I'm sure Bless wears off at this point.
Yeah.
And you're all like, didn't we have another guy here?
Can would you like any sort of what kind of a knowledge check of some sort, history or
Oh, sure.
statue?
Oh,
Yes. History. or religion on the statue?
Equally bad at both. Maddie's just sitting in the corner, like scratching her head.
It's like a cool, horrifying statue, but you don't really know. Gamos, you're not sure either. The only thing that you really take from it is that the robes and the breastplate that it's wearing kind of would fit in well in like a hot desert climate. Like they're familiar to you in that way, but other than that, nothing. Anyone else that feels they would like to roll a history or religion on the statue may do so.
Where is this dungeon we're in right now? Isn't it in the middle of the Lamnik?
It is in the middle of the Lamnik. Gorm also not something you're familiar with.
Let's try.
We'll never know.
We don't have a wizard in the party to have jacked up int.
See what we're really lacking right now.
Funny what the
Yeah.
other party fades. Like Anna and Steven are like fighting over each other to like answer the question, and then this party everyone's just like, I don't know, that's weird.
You're all
weird.
unsure, but it is a cool yet horrifying statue of what I described.
Mythos will say, just be careful because it has some sort of magic on it. I feel way more tired than I should after just a couple of swings. We should probably destroy it though. It looks god awful. I mean, who designed this place? Terrible.
Gamos is gonna hit it.
Why would you hit it?
Do you not think it looks terrible?
It is statue.
I think you underestimate decor.
As you smash your lance into this thing, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. You can see where you impact it. There's this little crater that forms, and it just kind of starts to reform and bleed out of that place.
Did that disadvantage?
Yes, sorry. Con at disadvantage. 15 is a success.
It would
And-
take a bit to destroy.
You gain 5 temporary hit points. Some of you swear as Gamos hit this thing, like, and the blood reformed. You almost saw some of the blood, like, almost leach onto his lance and just kind of, like, vanish into it as he smashes this thing with his lance. And somehow gets 5 temporary hit points. So that's fun.
Is there anything anywhere else we can go?
So there is a door at the bottom of that hallway that Maddie you were looking at, and then you guys had passed one door earlier to go down the like kind of open hallway where you found the blood. Those are what you know.
Like, there's a door to the left here.
No, it is up and to the right. It is up here.
Okay. You want to go check out that door?
And then there's the other door down here. But you guys kind of got distracted by the blood coming out of the door. For good reason.
I take a sample of the blood on the floor from the puddle?
Yes, I'll need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you take it at disadvantage. As you take your sample, you take 1 level of exhaustion,
Okay.
but you have a sample of the blood. I'm loving this. How many people got exhaustion? We're just filling it up. Filling it up. That's how they get you at this dungeon. They just put you to sleep.
I really just wanted to test if you'd really kill me.
Oh, I'll kill you. And then I'll bring you back and put you on a boat.
Right.
All right, are we all good to this door? Coming up to the door.
Almost just waiting on Mythos.
Mythos was really disgusted. He really did want to take that statue out, but he figured it was not worth his time. Which way are we going?
Everyone is north.
The other door.
Lead the
Right,
way,
everyone.
Gamos.
This way.
All right. Maddie will open the door.
Maddie, you find the door is locked, I believe. You have to look up the rules on the locked doors in this fucking place. We'll put that all in the front. So you have to scroll back up. How nice of them. Yes, this door is locked.
What kind of door is it?
A stone door. And it does have the ability to be picked. This door looks a lot like the door that Gamos kicked in as well.
She'll turn aside and look at Gamos.
Give her a nod and then do a charging kick on the door.
Of it. Strength check. Athletics.
Let it.
And much like before, you are able to smash the door open. Who needs rogues?
When you got barbarians.
Revealing a chamber, the air of which almost feels alive with some unseen energy. 2 thick pillars extend from floor to ceiling, humming, and between them sits an iron chest.
Does the chest appear to be locked or trapped? I totally know.
Is it ornate?
Yeah, it's got like kind of like, rivets on it. It looks old. It has a locking mechanism on it that you can see. But yeah, it's like it's a fairly good size like chest, bigger than like a shoebox, and it's just kind of like sitting on a pillar, like on a about chest height.
But does it just look like a chest, or is there carvings in it? Does it have any color in it?
Yeah, it's just like this dark iron chest. There's no carvings or anything of that nature. It's well made in the sense that but it doesn't look like super fancy or anything. Just kind of your run of the mill chest.
Gotcha.
But
If it was like
probably
real,
heavy.
like if it was real nice looking, Mythos would just run to it and open it. But since it's just like a normal looking chest, he's not that interested.
Yeah, it doesn't have any like filigree or gold.
Yeah.
Or it's a heavy iron chest.
And you said the pillars are humming.
Yeah, like as you're like walking around this room, you can almost feel this like this energy, and the pillars seem to be like kind of like.
Can I
Almost hear it.
tap my lance on one of them?
You certainly can.
This is a
3 levels of exhaustion.
Let's see. Yeah. So as you touch your lance to the trap, I say, the pillars shoot out bolts of lightning at you, Gamos.
Okay.
And I need a dexterity saving throw.
I have
As-
advantage because I have danger sense.
Yes, you can certainly sense this coming as 2 bolts of lightning shoot out from the pillars, 1 from each.
15.
15 does save, and you will take half damage. So 5 points of lightning damage
I lose my temporary hit points.
smashes into Gamos as he touches the pillars.
That's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Mythos claps him on the shoulder.
I bet it does that if we touch the chest too. Maybe there's a way to disable it, but none of us probably can.
Could just try to take the chest and run.
Always a thinking man, Gamos. And I'll tell you what, this is why he's the absolute best trap disarmer in the business. Isn't that right?
Shrugs. Yes. I guess.
Are they still humming after they zapped him?
Yeah, they are. They are still humming.
What's the ground made of?
It's the same as the rest of the dungeon, kind of stone.
Let's see if we can find something that might. So, Maddie will like walk around the room and do a perception check and look for like a button or something.
Lovely. 22. Looking specifically for a button, you say? Yes, Maddie, you actually find 2 identical buttons, kind of located at the base of each pillar, hidden kind of within the like decor around the pillars, like these two buttons that appear to be pressable.
Maddie will push the first button.
You immediately hear the kind of like humming, just come emanating from that pillar. The other pillar seems to still be humming though.
Maddie will look at Mythos and be like, hee hee, who's the detective now? And we'll go hit the button.
Both pillars are now no longer humming.
We open the chest.
I mean, I'll try, or if someone else wants to.
Gamos will.
Gamos opens the chest.
Gamos opens the chest.
Reaching out, gripping the chest, you realize it does appear to be locked. Does Gamos want to force it open?
What kind of lock does it look like? Padlock on the inside, internal lock.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of like a keyhole lock. So the lock is internal.
Sure, let's try and smash it open.
Love it. Strength check.
Strength check or athletics?
Yeah, athletics.
Okay. 9.
You can feel as you're kind of that it's a tough seal here, but you can feel that it is like something that you could probably bust, either given time or maybe just hitting it a lot, or obviously it can be picked. But you don't feel like this is an impossible lock.
Sure. Gamos will set aside his lance and pull out his war pick and ready to strike to puncture the top.
Ooh, I love that. Anyone doing anything about this, or this is how you rogue?
This is how we've always done it.
God. 7 and 7 work.
Maddie, after probably seeing Gamos fail, Maddie will go through for a couple unarmed strikes, trying to do like acid damage on the locking mechanism.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, the war pick kind of doesn't find purchase and flings off to the side. Maybe the shape of the chest is not solid, but that, on the other hand, does hit solidly in the acid. The acid, you say?
Yeah. As she connects, like, coming out of her hand, it like you just see like green. It's in here, smell that's like kind of burning smell.
And you can actually see that is starting to weaken the chest after those 2 solid hits. But you can tell it's basically maybe a little sturdier than you thought as far as like getting through the actual material of the chest, as you're kind of doing now. But this has probably weakened it if Gamos wants to try and give it another tear open.
Sure. Another pry.
Again, you can kind of start to feel it starting to give as you're prying this thing open. And as you guys continue to weaken this thing, Gamos, you can feel it like starting to pry, and then suddenly it just like gives and flings open, and a ghost ghost flies out of it. I need a roll initiative.
Maddie, how much HP did you heal for when we were out of combat?
14.
14? Okay.
I could also drop it if that's something you want to do.
No, that's okay. I just needed to know how much.
Tiny, you are first to act as this ghost erupts from inside the chest.
Is there audible sounds of said ghost, or is it just the chest?
I mean, the chest kind of flies to the ground, I suspect, and there are contents inside the chest that kind of fly. So it's probably audible sounds of gasps of your party. The ghost maybe doesn't make a sound, but
He wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't move.
right. Maddie, you see the emergence of this specter.
All right. It's probably not going to do it.
Passes through, but on your second attempt, you do make contact.
Fire damage. Shoot in the dark.
You see it kind of like rip through the form of the creature. You don't see the fire necessarily doing anything, but you can tell the creature took some damage.
Did I have advantage on those attacks because of Mythos?
Yes. And yeah, Gorm's right there. So you do have advantage. There you go. You love to see it. Love to see it. Beautiful.
So looks like I confirmed.
Yeah, we'll do a bit more demo, so. And yet to have this in here, so I will do it right there. Bludgeoning. Don't worry, I'm just copying it over from the burnt. Roll damage as normal and the target is knocked prone. I believe it is.
Can you knock a ghost prone?
Yes, it is immune to prone, so that's upsetting.
No. Well. How did it look like the bludgeoning damage was?
It looked about the same as your fire.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna just roll to see if I'm extra lucky.
Love it.
Nope. All right. So that's an action and a bonus action.
Perfecto. Gorm.
Gorm's fingers will finally get to feel the bone hilt of his axe that he wanted to use in the last room.
Heyo. Why don't we just crit this thing to death? 14 will confirm. Good thing I didn't get out of the burnt yet. That is slashing. Slice and dice. I don't believe it bleeds. But let's take a good amount of damage.
It's going to take a little more because as the axe passes through, you'll just see this blinding white energy as he adds a divine smite
There you
to
go.
his attack.
There you go. Divine smites are doubled and crits, which is just the best thing ever. And Gorm, you have divinely smote this specter into nothingness. It's dead.
He will nod and grin, and it looks like it's kind of at Maddie, but really he's looking at his axe.
Damn, Grandpa. Is there anything in the chest?
There is some things in the chest. Some of them kind of scattered to the floor in this breaking of the chest. But what you do see kind of around you and some left in the chest is one thing that looks to be a beat up scroll case. There is a kind of multiple bags of like gemstones and things, fine gems, coins, money. There is a small talisman, just like a small statue. There is a ring, and there is a hefty book. And as you're all kind of picking these things up, looking into the chest, you actually start to hear some sounds. You hear sounds of creaks followed by thuds coming from behind Maddie through the stone wall. You can hear these echoing sounds. And it almost sounds like someone kind of hurriedly moving down a set of old wooden stairs. And you can hear these sounds kind of growing louder and clearer. And then you can also kind of hear these like gruff and mumbled words beginning to call out in that eastern direction through this kind of stone wall behind Maddie, and we will take our 8:24 break. Jumping back in. So you hear the sounds of creaks and thuds coming from the wall behind Maddie. Sounds like someone hurriedly moving down a set of old wooden stairs. Focusing on the sounds growing louder and clearer, you begin to make out some mumbled words as well. All right. Who the fuck is snooping about in my storage room? You didn't re-kill all my biters to get here, did you? Why doesn't anyone just knock anymore? You hear this coming from somewhere behind you, Maddie.
Like behind me, like you said, sort of the east, so like here.
Correct.
So with that information, can she like re-look at the wall?
Yeah, you can actually just kind of reach out your stick there and like try to run it up against the wall, and it just kind of passes through this illusory wall. And basically moments later, the wall just kind of vanishes down around you. And you can see this hallway with a circular stair at the end. And standing at the bottom of the hall, which I can't make the map work for that. So I'm just going to put them to the north here, because that's just how the map works. Is a tall, thin human man wearing dark greenish. God, my music is crazy. A tall, thin human man wearing dark greenish blue robes, his face sunken, skin hanging loosely from the atrophied muscle and frail bones beneath. And in his hand, he is clutching a black walking cane or quarterstaff, kind of in a readied position. He enters the room. He looks like this. All right, everyone calm the fuck down. Stop rooting through my things. Just tell me who you are and what you're doing here, and maybe, just maybe, we can work this out without me having to waste all my spells for the day on disintegrating a bunch of treasure hunting do-gooders. I'm a very busy man, and this is not how I wanted to spend my day. He looks kind of over you all. As he kind of starts stepping forward towards that, where the illusory wall once was. Good answer.
You sure keep some strange company in here.
Yeah, you could say that. They're mine technically, but not all mine. I haven't really gotten to furnishing this basement yet. That's kind of why I kept that door, and he kind of points to the door that you all just came through. Why I kept that door locked, kind of tucked away from the entrance, because I don't really want anyone, joining me here. It's kind of why I'm in the middle of the woods alone. Who are you? And what are you doing here?
Maddie will look at him dead serious, and she will say, I'm Maddie, the hero who's going to save the world. But you probably want to talk to the adults. And she'll look at the other people.
Well, she's got spunk. So, my fellow adults, she's here to save the world. And you are her escorts, chaperones.
I follow the elf.
This guy just pounding down these grapes. You follow him.
Yes.
Good sir. I won't mince words. We're here for justice. What do you know of, and he'll describe the symbol on the corpse of our friend.
You see him like almost taken aback by the sudden justice wielding paladin man. Okay, that's interesting. I know. Yeah, I know some about that. Real question is, how do you know about that? Okay, so you guys have. Wow. All right. So I don't have to kill you right away. We can talk. Yeah. Let's talk. And
one that we hold dear. Gorb will cut him off because he's like a hothead. One that we hold dear has earned her rest. We demand that she receive it. And the power behind this symbol is keeping her from having that.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I guess this is sort of my fault then after all, but not that part exactly. Sorry, it's just been kind of a long day, to be honest. I probably only have enough spell slots to disintegrate only a few of you anyway, so don't take that to heart. Like I said, this tower hasn't been mine forever. It's only recently. Recently is a bit of a loose description, but I took over this place about 3 years ago. There were some cultists who I took it from, and they were pretty deep into the worship of, the undead. And I mean deep, like pre-Vox shit. But I've made over the whole place upstairs, and like I said, just haven't really gotten to doing down here yet. But honestly, the basement kind of helps keep up appearances. I like having anyone that kind of stumbles on this place kind of think that the cult still lives here, kind of keeps most folk out, so I can just go about my business in peace. That is until like a group of do-gooders like yourselves come to clean up the evil cult. But your work here is done. The cult is dead. I prefer you just keep letting people think the cult is still kicking around. It helps keep the peace and quiet. Anyway, sorry, I can really get on it. What were we talking about again? Yeah, sorry. Okay, so your friend with the glyph. So what you're describing is a glyph of the soulless, and that's like some real ancient necromantic shit. Like that, right? Like super old. I guess it makes sense that it led you here, because that cult that was here prior to me really worshipped some long dead lich. Kind of a lich, not fully. Her name was Ragul. There's all type of shit about her around here, and he kind of like motions around. One of those rooms over there. There's a kind of a statue of her, that bleeding one. I don't know if you got a chance to see that. Pretty crazy shit with the Kirk's blood and everything, right? Anyway, she led an open rebellion in Moran. What was it? The Second Age. Tried to overthrow the Four Kings and take over Moran. Become a lich. Her army consisted of vastly undead forces. Like real crazy shit. Pretty metal though, right? Sorry, again, the glyph. Back to the glyph. So, like I said, it's ancient necromancy, meant to keep the souls from entering the afterlife. Like you said, it's powerful shit that would require some real arcane ability to do. Not just like archwizard abilities, but like bordering on demigod level stuff. Unless, of course, someone's wielding like a soulmonger or something, but that'd be, I don't know. However unlikely that is, to be honest, it has happened before, the soulmonger thing. Ragul likely wasn't the first to attempt lichstone in Visros's name. That's the god she worshipped. She certainly wasn't the last. The last instance I'm aware of was this dude named Raz NC. He waged a holy war against the city of Mesro. Well, before Mesro fucked off.
And when he says that, he kind of glances over towards Mythos. And then just continues.
Gods know where Mesro went to. This Raz NC guy, he claimed to be a paladin of Visros. His army, like Ragul, was made up of an undead horde. I bet you can still find some of those rot heads wandering around those jungles. Strong magic to keep them rotting for, nearly 60 years. Sorry, I can really get onto it. Back to your glyph. I've got some friends in somewhat high places. I can probably call in a few favors on behalf of you, and with this glyph of the soulless showing its head, I might be able to have them take a look around a bit, starting probably in the ruins of Mesro. See what I can turn up. If we get any hits, I'll be sure to let you know. And I know you're kind of looking for this stuff already, but if this is really the work of another wannabe lich trying to become royalty, I may be interested in sweetening the pot a bit for you, because if you can't already tell, I kind of love this type of shit.
So we get our path, and you get to tickle your interest.
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, I've got connections all over this, not this place. I mean, not this place in particular, but all over the Vale. Some powerful people, or people who think they're powerful.
Maddie like kind of scratches her head and is like, "What does the thing on her head have to do with someone else becoming a lich?"
It's all about souls. Stopping souls from going to the afterlife means putting souls somewhere else. And if you're a lich, you got to feed on souls. I don't know exactly how the Glyph of the Souls works, or where they're putting those souls. But if they're stopping them from getting to one place, they're surely putting them somewhere else.
Got it.
Are you telling me that a lich might be feeding on the soul of our friend?
It's possible. I mean, feeding, it's a little grim when you look at it that way, but at least using its energy, yeah. Or storing it to be used later.
Gorms will jump off the chest and, with one hand on his axe, kneel down and bow his head, and in so many words say he will do whatever it takes to follow the path of this dude, like pledging his allegiance to him, because this is like a serious matter, and he doesn't care if it's only a 1% chance. It's the only chance he feels he's got.
Oh, you can really get off your knee there, old timer. That's really okay. I don't really do the like knighting thing. And anyway, like if we do this, like it'll kind of be working for me, so that feels weird. But like I said, I can pay money or other, kind of wherever your interests lie. And I'm gonna get a favor pulled in from some other people to kind of look into your shit here. They might need favors. It's a whole thing. You know how fancy people do things. Like I scratch your back, you scratch ours, and ours and ours, kind of thing. But you get it. You're adventurers or whatever. Everybody needs a job or a patron or whatever.
And what's your name?
Oh, sorry. Exathanter. Nice to meet you.
Exathanter. All right.
Yeah. EXETHER. Exathanter. I think I missed an A and an N in there. But you get it.
Nice to meet you, Mr. X.
Yeah, X is good. Just don't call me Xanathar. That's a different copyright. So do you want to kind of get out of this horrible place? A couple of you look like you maybe touched too much of that blood. I've got some antidotes upstairs. Maybe some tea. I can get you some tea. An ale. Charcuterie board. I don't know.
Food and ale.
Maybe this guy could add some grapes on my board.
Tell you what, you remove that god awful statue, and you've got yourself a deal.
Honestly, I've been looking to get rid of that thing for a while. If you know any dealers who might be into the fine arts, and maybe someone who can dispel a lot of magic, because I don't think anybody could move that thing more than 10 or 15 feet before they die due to exhaustion. But yeah, let's head upstairs and they'll make some phone calls. On my
Does he
phone.
care if we take the stuff out of the chest?
Oh, as you guys kind of glance down at the stuff, he's like, yeah, we can, maybe we can make that part of the deal. And he'll start walking up the stairs as you all follow along. Some time passes. Again. Time passes after you have a nice charcuterie board with ale and or wine and maybe some of that sweet 1434. Who's to say? But time passes after you leave this tower, the Tower of Exanther. Exanther, I can say his name. As you leave, you are, of course, sworn to keep his current occupancy a secret and uphold the illusion of the death cult still living in that tower. And make your way back towards Briarwood, where he has some contacts that he has arranged with you to meet. One of them being a young dwarven man by the name of Everrock, a member of the Dune Dragon Estate and of the Dune Dragon Venture Company. When one of the many budding venture companies in Briarwood. Over the next few weeks, your intelligence continues to grow, and the many favors and doors open to you by way of Exanther and his colleagues within his network eventually lands you on a boat, the Shadow Squall of the Dune Dragon fleet, headed to the far continent of Krzyk, landing in Port Hope, a bustling city of culture and trade. Your objective being to seek out the source of necromantic energy emanating from somewhere deep within the jungles of Krzyk, believed to be the work of a necromantic artifact that Exanther has been calling the Soulmonger. To uncover who or what is controlling the Soulmonger and why, to reclaim or destroy the Soulmonger, hopefully breaking the glyph of the soulless curse that is plaguing your old friend / party member Aurora Waters, whose death and the uncovering of the glyph upon her kind of became the impetus to this adventure for this small band of would-be adventurers. And a couple side tasks. Side task: gathering as many art pieces and ancient artifacts, both magical and mundane, from the many ancient ruins that exist within the jungles of Krzyk from ages long past. This task is for the Dune Dragon Venture Company, whose ship agreed to ferry you across the southern seas to your destination. Things you know of the ship. The ship will return to pick you up in approximately 80 days after staying at port for about a week or so. Then again, another 80 days. So if you miss the first 80 days, it does come back 80 days later. If your travels in Krzyk have not yet returned you to Port Hope. Exanther would have given you his entire chest of goodies that you found when you first met for trade, in trade for as much information as can be uncovered regarding the fall of Ross Ensi, the the paladin that he spoke of earlier, and what is happening with the Soulmonger currently. Along with the purchase of any artifacts. What else?
Senzi was the most recent would-be lich.
Yeah, about 60 years ago. This
And
lich.
And the other one was not Rasenzi, the one that the blood statue of.
Yeah, that was Rahagul.
Okay.
Can
we get some?
And I'll give you a list of those.
Thanks.
Or yeah, I can even put it on the main page. It has like a quest loggy thing. But he would also happily purchase any artifacts that are so related to his specific interests, which seems to be necromancy, that you would keep from the Dune Dragons and sell to him instead on the low. He basically would say he would give you some big bucks for those things instead of giving it to them. And you've all been given a currently undisclosed stipend from the Dune Dragon Venture Company before leaving on your journey. So any mundane gear you wish to purchase before your trip, or any money you want to take into Port Hope to purchase local goods, room and board, tavern meals, ale, etc., along with the possible purchase / loaning of some low tier magic items we can discuss. Basically, the Dune Dragons are willing to risk a decent amount of money on you, because if you succeed, and the return will be pretty good for them, and if you fail, it seems that it's just kind of the return is worth the risk. I don't know what's happening in that other room. Cooper's going mad. For the trip to Krizik and the legwork to locate the general whereabouts of the Soulmonger that they kind of have given you thus far, the Dune Dragon Estate expects you to deliver a minimum of 20,000 gold pieces worth of Kriziki artifacts to the Shadow Squall from the ruins scattered throughout the jungles of Krizik. These artifacts can be art pieces, relics from ancient times past, magical and non-magical. And any loans taken from them in the form of gold pieces and mundane items will need to be paid back, either in the form of artifacts added to that 20,000 previously stated, or 1.5 to 2 times the going rate in gold pieces. If that scares you, it shouldn't. That should excite you, because that means there's a lot to be found in Krizik.
So we're like the British coming in to sweep and rob Egypt or India, their stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly that. How do you think the Dune Dragon Venture Company makes such a big impact?
Yeah. It checks.
In about 50 years or so.
They're going to give us some undisclosed sum of money at the end when we're done.
Yeah, so you'll get basically anything on top of that 20K that you don't give them is yours to keep. And then yeah, anything you basically loaned from them, you can pay off and keep as well. So if you guys want some early game magic items, you can let me know, and I can see what they can do. But just obviously, if things are extremely expensive, they probably don't have them, can't get them, and you'd have to pay back double in artifacts. They will give you a bag of holding in order to kind of help you along your ways. And yeah, if anyone needs any mundane items as well, to kind of start to fill out the shit that you have, we can talk about those things as well. And then any questions? I can go back over a lot of this. I will put a bunch of this on the main page in a just maybe shorter bullet point format, so that you can see the like quests, active quests. The artifact stuff I think is just kind of fun to track how much you can actually acquire on this trip. I think it'd be pretty interesting to find out by the end how much money's worth of stuff you're able to acquire. Because I was just flipping through the book and I was like, there's a ton of shit in here. It'd be pretty fun to track the monetary value of. So this is a fun way to do it. And in world makes a lot of sense. Thoughts, questions, a lot of info dumped.
I'm good.
I think let's get started.
I love it. Grab your people. I don't know how the map works. Well, obviously he's not coming with you. Sad, sad. Exithander. We can talk about anything that you guys want to like get as far as items before you go, and just kind of do that between. Just shoot me a text or an email or something about that, unless somebody's real ready and knows what their character would want or need. Now, oh, I should go over what was in the what was given to you. What was given to you from him? I have all that. Okay. I don't think I've made it bag of holding. Bag of holding. All players. Save. All right, there's a bag of holding in the characters section. I will just open a document and copy this stuff in there for you, so don't worry about typing it. To start. But you will have, within the beat up scroll case, there are 5 scrolls. There's a scroll of comprehend languages, detect magic, identify false life, and protection from evil and good. So a bunch of first level scrolls that will hopefully be on someone's spell list, or low risk scrolls for those of you non-caster types. There is 450 gold pieces worth of fine gemstones and gold pieces. So just 450 gold piece. There is a amber talisman, which can be used as a +1 magical focus. There is a ring of spell storing. And there is a tome of clear thoughts with somewhere between 5 to 15 years left on its recharge. So not the most useful tome at the moment, but maybe eventually. Maybe just tuck it away somewhere. And hope some other characters can find it. Who's to say? That's all in the bag. All right. It's all in the bag.
It's in the bag.
Oh my goodness. A lot going on this map. Okay. So as you can see, this is totally not a map of Cholt. It is a map of Krizik.
What have you done?
Done anything. So, what you know of this place from the research that has been given to you through the Dune Dragon Estate and through some of the other contacts that Chaboy Exithanter has given. Cholt is a island, heavily forested, or jungled, mountainous, and the thick jungles of Cholt are pretty notable. For being incredibly difficult to map by outsiders. There are not a lot of existing maps of this place. Krizik has not been mapped in depth by an outsider as far as anyone really knows. There are notable locations on this map. You zoom out, move around, some of which you will find are within these kind of beige hexes that are making things more difficult to see. There are other locations kind of on my GM layer beneath these hexes. And eventually, we will head out into the jungle and you will kind of be seeking what it is you're seeking, this soulmonger. But first, as you may know, we are headed to Port Hope, which is located here. Got this little party tile up there next to Port Hope for you. In this, the Bay of Chult, for some reason. Why would it be called that? It's Krizik. It's so weird. I have a little doodad to give you first. And that doodad is upon your arrival in Krizik, both in-game NPCs and myself, the DM out of game right now, would implore you all to kind of take a little time around the port city and don't just rush out into the jungle. Both Exathanter and I would say to take some time to get your bearings in this city. Krizik is a vastly different place than the Vale. Kind of learn about it, experience Port Hope and what it has to offer, and use some time here to kind of begin building towards your excursion into the jungle, which is coming. That is where we're headed. But then again, the game is yours, so if the city is not as doesn't grab you the way I expect it to, feel free. Do what you need to do. Do what feels right. Go hunt some dinosaurs or whatever. They're out there to be hunted. So don't let me tell you what to do. Let me get...
You're not our real dad.
You can't tell me what to do. She's not even doing his voice.
I just assumed that Exathanter was Rick Sanchez, to be honest.
Played by Rick Sanchez. Okay. Very interesting, this the way Roll20 sets things up for this. Excuse me. So, as I said, you came over on the Shadow Scroll and will eventually land here. Port Hope. This is the coolest map. Please note, for whatever reason, they made this dumb map where north is to the right. See the dumb compass at the bottom. I'll never understand why. But this is Port Hope, where north is to the right, because we're in a weird, strange place. Let me give you some box text about the city. After you land in the Shadow Squall and start to take in your bearings, you appear in a tropical city under the blazing sun. Familiar sounds of harbor, creaking ropes, slapping waves, heavy barrels rolling across cobbles, mingle with voices shouting and cursing in unfamiliar language. Words that can make it sound almost musical at times. The aroma of the unfamiliar spices and tropical fruit mixes with the wharfside smells of fish, tar, canvas. Beyond all that, Port Hope is an explosion of color. Buildings are painted in bright shades of blue, green, orange, and salmon pink. Their walls are adorned with murals portraying giant reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers, draped in leafy flowering vines. Minstrels in bright clothing adorned with feathers and shells perform on the streets. Multicolored pennants and sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. A crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes races past you, squealing in delighted terror as a street performer, costumed as a big-toothed lizard, stomps and roars behind them. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing all at once. This is Port Hope. Need some different musica for the time being. You've been instructed basically to seek out a place to stay in the city. Can't get any of these. And the two inns, names of which you were given, were the Thundering Lizard, if you're looking for a more raucous time, or Kaya's House of Repose, if you're looking to get a good night's sleep. These are both inns located in the Red Bazaar, which I will pop up on the map when I can find it.
Would both ends be able to accommodate a centaur?
You actually get the sense that the centaur might not be as out of place here as he may have been the past few weeks in Briarwood. So yeah, you suspect that like he's probably not getting as many looks as you can see. Looking around Port Hope, there are a lot of humanoids and humans, but there are also a lot of more differing creatures. There's some lizard folk wandering about, as well as like these creatures that many of you are probably not familiar with, by way of dinosaurs being used as kind of beasts of burden. And there are a number of tabaxi, a high percentage of tabaxi in this place. There are also elves, dwarves, some of which may look a little different than those that you are used to back in the Vale. But it is a very like diverse place. And Port Hope is one of the only kind of pockets of civilization on Krizik, at least. Pockets of civilization quite like this. There are small, like tribes kind of dotted throughout of all differing cultures and backgrounds, but like as far as like a city, this is like the one. I'm not used to this map yet. To look at it in the book, it's a lot easier.
So I'm pretty sure that Brett would want to go to the one that is more likely to hire him as a performer, which I would imagine is the more raucous one, since bards may not be as welcome, especially bards with like kind of ridiculous shows.
Very fair. Yes, so down here.
And that would be very important to Brett that we go somewhere where he can keep working.
At 18 is where it's here. Where are my little doodads?
You said that one was the Thundering Lizard.
Yeah, so down here is the Thundering Lizard. And 18 is the Red Bazaar. Which is, why are those on there? I'm going to pull the, there's a bunch of names here that are on the GM there. Token there, I guess Mapler there. Mapler. 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 That's all the words. Okay, cool. Working out the kinks here. So you can see there's multiple wards to this city. We have Old City, Merchant's Ward, the Harbor Ward, Malar's Throat, the Tyriki Anchorage, and the Market Ward. The Market Ward is where the Red Bazaar is located, and within the Red Bazaar is the Thundering Lizard, which is the more raucous of the two places, and kind of a place that you know that you can get some a place to stay. You guys can get some rooms within there.
Well, if people are cool going there, they can feel confident. That's where.
I mean, Mythos likes to party, but he's also, one to bring the party regardless. So, like he's down for whatever. I assume Gamos is along for the debauchery ride as well.
Gamos is along for the ride. Puts up No fight.
I need to get a party landmark up here.
How are our other two party members feeling about this decision?
Not thrilled.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Would probably want to go kind of more like in the fields between the Large Throat and Tricky Anchorage, just to where it's more quiet.
Like, is that his actual plan? Like, you're just gonna go chill in the woods?
I think so. Like he'll go around and stuff like with everybody, but like when it's
But
time
at night,
yeah, at night he'd be like, "I'll be here."
Love that.
Then
You love that.
Up in the morning.
So let me give you some intel on some of the things that you kind of see just walking through, just to get a better bearing of the city at large. But as you're moving through kind of the sights and sounds of this place, the most immediate thing is probably the heat. Other than those of you that have been to Maranthe, like you probably haven't experienced this type of this amount of heat, and then even those of you from Maranthe or that have been to Maranthe, like the heat's not the same. It's much more humid here, and that humidity is like kind of bears down on you. And just like the place is just full of exotic sounds and sights for most of you. As I said, there are medium and large dinosaurs literally being walked through the streets as beasts of burden that are kind of hauling carts and like hoisting like heavy loads like on cranes, and you can see kind of dragging boats through the channels and things like that around the harbor ward. There are kind of images painted everywhere of like these kind of beasts, these dinosaurs, painted on the walls, on posters and things. And some of these posters have these dinos have like names that you're kind of seeing, like, and at first you're not really sure what some of these things are. Some of these names that kind of keep coming up, like you see multiple times, like Big Honker and Bone Crusher, things like this, like Scarback, Nasty Boy, Jungle Princess. Like it's like teams that you start to pick up. Like there are these specific like teams for these dinosaurs, and making your way through, you're kind of like maybe hearing people start to talk about, like you overhear some people talking about races, these dinosaur races that are happening, and one's coming up. There's one basically the equivalent of next session. There's one happening in a few days' time. So like you're hearing all these things, and people are talking about who's going to win and like who they're going to bet on and all of these things. There are plants, as I said, vines, overgrowth everywhere, just springing out of like the building, the literal stones. And as much as this is a city, like you might feel a little more at ease, Tiny, just because of the amount of greenery that is kind of around and throughout the city. It's like nature trying to kind of take this place back, but this place is kind of okay with it. Like people aren't necessarily fighting it off as much as you see elsewhere in the world. As you move your way through the city, these crowded streets, getting like closer to the outskirts, closer to the jungles, you notice that the city is kind of enclosed in these massive walls, these defensive walls that have these towers topped with colorful awnings to shield guards from both the sun and the rain. you would know that it rains here quite often, daily, usually multiple times per day. It's Florida. And all the streets here are paved with cobblestones and flagstones, and kind of through the middle of the streets, they often have these really deep, sometimes up to 2 foot wide, like gutters, rain gutters, essentially. And over time, after a few rainstorms, you'll note that most of the city just keeps on going during the rainstorms, unless it's super, super heavy. That is except for a good amount of the Tabaxi tend to take shelter during the rain. And then the city, as I said, is divided into districts, and there's kind of open archways throughout these districts that are painted with a lot of these murals and these ads for these teams. And amongst this place, there's a lot of crumbling buildings with vines, and a lot of them look pretty old. And there's like new wooden builds kind of attached to some of these older buildings, and it's all just kind of mixed in. One thing in particular is a lot of the buildings you'll see have these like wooden troughs and mechanisms on top of them that are basically catching rainwater and moving rainwater through the city. Just moving through this city, you kind of like pick up on how alive it is. And though you may get a few looks from people here and there, you're not really garnering that many looks because this port is, as I said, super diverse, but also there's people from all over here trading and selling goods. It's not uncommon to see people from Briarwood or people from Storatown or people from Marant here coming on these large trade vessels and trading and selling goods. Though many of these people might not know you're here to pillage the land of all their ancient artifacts, they might not be as happy about that, but you know, those are out in the jungle. They're for the taking. They're just laying there. They're just laying there on the floor. I'm gonna have someone roll me 2d10 at your convenience. Beautiful. Okay, so as you're leaving the harbor ward, you overhear this kind of like he's not a huge dragon, but there's this kind of like middle-sized dragonborn, a bit gruff though, and he's kind of barking orders at a group on the basically telling people where to go and where to take certain boxes and things here and there. And something that catches your eye behind him is these wanted signs. These wanted signs that are for 3 pirate ships. One called the Dragonfane, one called the Emerald Eye, and the last called the Sturge. And there is a bounty of 2,000 gold pieces for each pirate ship that is captured and brought into port, and a bonus of 500 gold pieces for the capture of each pirate captain that you see. So those are some posters that mayhaps catch your eye. I will put that as a possible side quest on on your quest log in case it interests you at some point. But that is something you note. And then another thing you note is okay, something we'll get to. That's fun. All right. So we get to the Thundering Lizard. After taking in all of the sights and sounds. So as you get to the Red Bazaar, you note that this is basically the shopping district. This is the market ward of this city. And this is where all the people are shopping for their daily goods, as well as maybe fancy luxury items also sold here. But this has meat, vegetables, tropical fruit, ale, wine, and all types of things, rain catchers, insect repellent, and other household goods. And the Red Bazaar, you note, it's predominantly locals selling things here. There's another area in town where you'll get more fancier things sold, and that's up north in the Merchants Ward. And that's not nearly as many locals in that area. But the noteworthy inn here, the Thundering Lizard, where you guys are kind of headed towards, is this massive 2-story building where the entrance is actually on the second floor, and there are steps kind of leading up to that entrance. And the entrance is through the skull of a very large lizard, likely a Tyrannosaurus Rex, just jaws wide open. And that is kind of where the entrance to this place is. And it is full to the brim of people. A fairly rough looking crowd, but a happy-go-lucky crowd at that. This has a lot of the sailors from all of the merchant ships that are at port probably stay here or near here and just kind of come here to get a drink, get some food for the day. The proprietor of this place appears to be a kobold who is currently working the bar, and there are multiple kobolds kind of running through the place, picking up drinks, picking up food orders, kind of throwing them, placing them here and there about the bar. But you are able to kind of make your way in, and if you wish, you can secure rooms here for at least the next few nights before deciding if this is where you want to stay for a longer period, or if you're going to head out. Rooms are pretty fucking cheap, I believe. 5 silver pieces a night. So a gold piece get you 2 nights here for a room. And I think that is kind of where we should leave it off tonight. But before dropping it out, maybe talking about if there's anything initially that you all want to do in town. Even if that initial thing is just kind of inquiring with the crowd at the Thundering Lizard and finding a little more out about what's going on here. But if there's any like initial things that you want to investigate, kind of like having to do with your initial quests, or if you just kind of want to get the lay of the land and take in your initial surroundings at this bar. Next time around, we can do that.
I would want to see if there was any sort of like spiritual place. Not
Okay.
as religious, but whether it was tribal, whether it was something just that had some sort of, I guess, supernatural type-ish
Awesome.
vibe to it or significance to it.
Let me tell you, there is. Cool. All right, so we got no name / tiny. Going to be wanting to find some type of spiritual place. Anything else that anyone wants to specifically find or kind of seek out in the city? Because things will come to find you as well, so you need not worry about all that. But if you have certain things that are of interest to you initially, because like I think I told Marshall this, but Croft will understand. Like Waterdeep, there is a lot going on here, and I think once we get rolling, your quest log can quickly fill up. So if you have things that just interest your character in general, that you want to see if there's something down that road here, let me know. Because likelihood is there might be something, because there's a lot going on in this place. It's just it's one of the liveliest cities I feel like they've ever made. It's a very cool place. And a great map, even if it is facing the wrong direction. It's so annoying.
Yeah, Maddie's probably just along for the ride.
Ute?
Not going to necessarily think anything out. I mean, I'm sure, like I said before, like she's helping Brett with his show and playing her part in it. I'm sure
Ute?
he'd get in like patrons or a bigger audience. You know, anything to grow his #brand.
Perfect. Yeah, I suspect Brett's brand will be on his mind at the Thundering Lizard. Cool.
Maybe,
yeah,
If,
but
does Christique have any more connections to like dragons? Like, is it just dinosaurs?
no, there might be some things that have to do with those dinosaurs who have wings. You know, those smart dinosaurs who have wings and breathe fire. There might be some dragon things you might be able to seek out here.
Yeah, I guess that she would ask around, and or if like someone noticed that, you know, at one of the shows that she like can breathe fire or lightning and do just like dragon things, and she's got her like dragon mark on her hand, and she'd be pretty open telling anybody that she thinks her ear piercing is a dragon bone. So, if anything like that would kick up someone who would either someone or, she could hear about something. I guess that's where Maddie would. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of dinos here. She might definitely
Maybe like
look for dragons.
And dragon if there's like dragon artifacts, she could learn about. So
Maybe a certain sect of warriors who hunt dragons. Who's to say?
So.
Very cool. So in between sessions, what I need from you. 1. Some character portraits. Feel free to just upload them to your sheet. I see Tiny has one. Ramos has one. And then I can make you some actual tokens out of them that have your health and everything on them, so that you guys can actually see each other and we get a better idea of what you look like and not just my dumb tokens. And then any items that you want for your character, low-level magic items or just mundane stuff that I can add to your what you have the Dune Dragons in artifacts, in pillaged artifacts from this jungle that you will one day explore and totally not die. Probably. If you can give me those things in between session, you win the game of D&D. Congratulations. Where did I put that on? Oh. From... And I, between sessions, need to give you a quest log.